national title preview. Ohio State's an 8.5 point favorite. The line's 46.5. Uh, Games also on Inauguration Day. We are obviously never going to talk about politics on the show, but who will be inaugurated as a national champion and why?
That's a really weird way to ask that question on Inauguration Day.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, all right, so let's go ahead and get out in front of this. I'm going to outwardly take an underdog. Notre Dame is not
Okay.
favored in this game, and I have a
All
feeling that
right.
I'm probably going to differ from Evan on this. I have a number of reasons as to why. I believe in Notre Dame's defense. I believe that is the answer to a lot of the questions that are being asked. How few points can Notre Dame hold Ohio State to is the main one that everyone should be asking. We all know what's really a five-headed monster that is the Ohio State offense. You have Mika Igbukka, you have Jeremiah Smith, Will Howard, Quinshot Judkins, and Travion Henderson. Not to mention there's another receiver or two. There's great offensive linemen. We know the amount of talent that's there. What I really wanted to dive into was the analytics behind this. So, on an average basis, Ohio State has put up 36 points per game. Notre Dame has put up or allowed 13 points per game over the course of the season. In the entire season, Notre Dame gave up 12 passing touchdowns. Three of those have come in the playoff, which means over a 9 game span, they only gave up, over a 12 game span, they only gave up 9 passing touchdowns. Statistically speaking, they are a really, really, I venture to say, great defensive team. Now, Ohio State has historically struggled with some of these programs that really excel on having strong defenses. Your Alabamas, your Michigans, your Georgias. Those are really the only types of programs that have given them difficulty. Ohio State also thrives on starting strong. Over the last 3 games in the playoffs, Ohio State has put up 69 points in the first half. That is a crazy number. Now, at the same time, Notre Dame has only allowed 16 points in all 3 of those first halves as well. And let's remember, too, those haven't been bad teams. You have a Georgia in there. You have a Penn State in there. Indiana, maybe I'll give them a little bit of a bye, but maybe you could say the same for Tennessee. Anyways, the deeper I dove into this, the more competitive it actually started to look. The other big call out, and I believe this was on Greg McElroy's podcast, was Will Howard has only faced man-to-man this season on 19% of his dropbacks. No one has really pressured on a man-to-man basis these Ohio State wide receivers. No one really has the talent to do it. However, you have three Notre Dame players that have 3 interceptions in the season or more. One of them has 6. His name is safety Xavier Watts. I genuinely really like this matchup. I think you need to pressure. You need to keep them inside the tackles. You need to do everything you can to keep it underneath because I think you can guard the deep ball even on single man-to-man. That's kind of my winning formula for Notre Dame. All that said, I have Notre Dame as my winner. I believe we have a cocky Ohio State team that's coming here to Atlanta who already believes that they have the national title in hand. I don't think it's there. Notre Dame is playing up like they have all season, and I think that they're really in a good spot for this game.
Hey, have you recovered?
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Whether my thoughts are there or not, I don't know. But I want to start by talking about line versus line, O line versus D line. And let's talk about Ohio State. Ohio State has one of the best defensive lines in the country. On the other side of that, they also have one of the best secondaries in the country. And their secondary, I would say, is just a bit better than their line up front. The reason I say that is because this game is going to be won on the run. And Notre Dame, they probably have a lot more of a well-rounded offense than Ohio State. And I will absolutely give them that. Oh, I know Cameron absolutely hates that, but it's the truth. It's the absolute truth. And if Ohio State can stop them on the run, there is almost zero chance for them on the pass because they have one of the top, I think it's top 3 best secondaries in the country. On the opposite side of that, on the offense, yeah, Notre Dame, they've got such a well-rounded offense, but if they can't get it done on the pass, then they're going to have to lean on the run. If they can't get it done on the run, they're going to be screwed all over. Ohio State is going to take this game. Ohio State has shown time and time again, except for that Michigan game, and except for a really, really close loss to Oregon, that they can demolish any opponent that they come up against. Notre Dame, they have had a couple of actual good opponents these past few weeks, and they've done really, really well. But let's be honest, their last game against Georgia, yeah, they demolished them. The score did not really compute on that one, if we're all being really honest. But that was Georgia with their backup quarterback. Talk all you want about Gunnar Stockton. He's a great quarterback. But for once, a defense was dialed up for him. And it really showed a lot. So they may not have been quite as good as they were all, done up to be. I'm going to Ohio State on this one. Ohio State, I don't think is going to have too much of a problem. But what I will say is, again, this is working. We have two teams who never would have been in the 14 playoff. Two teams that did not get their buys, and two teams that have given us not only the most convincing wins throughout the college football playoffs this year, but also the most exciting wins in the quarterfinals. I'm really looking forward to it.
Joey, I have a question here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Evan, I want you to name one particularly strong part of the Notre Dame offense against Ohio State. What do you mentioned that they're well-rounded. What is well-rounded?
It's got to be their two-headed monster at running back. That's got to be it. I mean,
look at it.
They have all the ability. I think they've got two running backs over 1,000 yards, right?
No, that was Penn State. That was Penn State.
Yeah,
that was Penn State.
Either way, they've got something right up the middle that, I mean, look back to the Michigan game. Michigan won that game by being able to run right up the middle.
I think it's a matter of trying to stop Ohio State. If you can put up 17, but your defense can hold steady, I think you're in good shape.
I agree. Ohio State is not made for close games. I mean, let's look at their track record. They lost to Oregon by 1. Penn State, they barely squeaked it out by, what was that, 6 back when they played them?
20 to 13.
Yeah. They're not one made for close games. They're not one made to dig into the trenches, but they are one to come out quick and fast and score on some real open long drives.
I will say, if you are Notre Dame, you do need to be trying. Riley Leonard needs to be on point to start off the game. If you start off the game in a 14-0 deficit, it's going to get real ugly real fast.
That's what I was going to say. If you give up a big play in the first quarter, you're done. If you're Notre Dame, like that's just not Notre Dame too is not one of those teams that is made for a really big, long, drawn out fight till the end.
No.
I mean, look at all the games that they've had that have come close. They haven't been that close. If they have been that close, they lost.
All right. So, Cam, you like Notre Dame straight up, right? Or do you just like them to beat the
spread?
spread?
I like Notre Dame straight up. I think the defense is what the difference is here. I think Notre Dame all the way.
All right. And Evan, do you think Ohio State covers? It's lines at 8.5.
I do. I don't think it'll be much more or much less than that.
All right. I think Ohio State wins and I think they cover too, but I do actually like the under. I think it's going to be a very low scoring game because Notre Dame's going to try to limit possessions.
I want to call out one thing. Over the last couple of games that Notre Dame played, they had possession of 56% on average of the games. Against Penn State, it was literally 50-50. It was, I think, 30-30 and 29-30. So almost dead even.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this and I'm saying if Notre Dame could win that one, and they basically evenly split. And Notre Dame is developed for these long, possessions.
Mm-hmm.
It starts to look more and more in the favor of that Notre Dame offense as long as they're able to be efficient. 3 yards in a cloud of dust. You need to just keep it going. Those first down markers are the entire game.
Yeah, I can keep naming stats about Ohio State too, but I think they're going to win.
I think we'd all like at the end of the day a good game though, no matter what happens, right? We just want a good competitive game. Don't want another blowout. Just something to send us into the off season the right way. So,
and not even that, but like the college football playoff committee, they need this to be a really good game. They finally had some relief in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
This needs to be a really good game.
Evan, you're watching the show. You like it. What's the first thing you're going to do?
I'm going to like, comment, and subscribe to this whole shindig.
Maybe you can share it too. I'd love to have this get in more places.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, guys, we love to hear from you. We started to get some more comments. We'd love to post your comments up on a future episode. So call us out. If you don't agree with us, let us know. We would love to debate with you live on recording.